Hey guys, after reading Intimate Apparel, one thing that I found really interesting was the similarity of the character Mamie and then Mrs. Van Buren, and the similarity of the problems where they both complain about the lack of emotional connection with the people around them, even though they do have physical intimacy with the people around them, which across class friends kind of show that everybody has this issue, no matter who you are, which that sounds kind of cool. As for values represented in the play, one of them would be duty, represented by Mr. Marks. There's a clear connection between him and Miss Esther, but he refuses to act on it based on his religious convictions and also the arranged marriage that he had no part in. So the duty to that religious conviction. And then Image with Mrs. Van Buren, she complains to Esther constantly about wanting to go bohemian and move out of her husband's life, but refuses to do that based on she likes her social status, and even though she complains about going to social events, that the prestige that status comes with, it ends up destroying the only relationship that she valued by trying to seduce Esther without treating her as an equal. One thing that I found kind of interesting and wanted to do a little more research on was quilts. Do people actually store things in quilts? Apparently, yes. For this time period, yeah, that was actually kind of common. Really common important examples would be in the Civil War and the Underground Railroad. They were used to smuggle money, supplies, and messages across lines of enemy troops and into the Deep South, which kind of cool. As for African American stereotypes and how they're represented within this piece, after a little research, I discovered that this was based off of the author's grandmother's life. And because of the real-world analog that is tied in with the play directly, it kind of gives that third dimension that a lot of stereotypes don't have. They're very two-dimensional, very easy to digest stories. With that third dimension, it refutes a lot of stereotypical African-American stereotypes by giving it a third-dimensional real-world analog. It's something that you can point to. It's like, obviously this ain't true because I have proof in a real-world context. As for stereotypes in general, yes, of course they still exist. They will always exist as long as humans exist. A rather harmless one that are common you can see is that white people can't eat spicy food. The reason it continues to this day is because there are people like me who don't like spicy food. So people can point to me, say that I am a representative of everyone who looks or acts like me, which is the reason that they continue. Which is also an easy way to refute them, saying I am not representative at all of anyone who looks like me or acts like me, which is where stereotypes gain their power. As for questions I have, this one's kind of common. I expect a lot of people to answer it, but I had to ask it. Would you marry someone you've never met before? And then also, there's a scene where George asks Esther to read something or read a letter that she got. Do you think that was there to say that George didn't know how to read, or that simply to show Esther was embarrassed by that?